Hey guys, Lancer here. Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks again for joining me. Looking to some more MTG market movers for the day. Please like and subscribe if you want to keep hearing more of this kind of content. So, Mother of Runes is back on the table. So there is another 4 different versions of this card. Each one of them is averaging around about the same price as the Mother of Runes cards, with a bit more expensive on the one end is this fancy version here. Looks kind of creepy. But the prices are on average less than what you would expect for Mother of Runes for each of the other sets. So you can see the Anthology one is $6.75. You got Dual Decks, Elspeth versus Kiora, which is $6.47. I would expect any of the Mother of Runes to be getting to that same price point because they are playable in any format and they are very powerful in Commander. Next, Ren N7 Borderless. So this is obviously the new Ren N7, Ren N6, Ren N7. It is very expensive, but it is also pretty decent, but it's not the same as what people think. So I'm not too sure what's going on here. But if they really think that the average market price for this is $51 and the average price for this that it can sell for is $82, I don't feel that's true. You guys can let me know if you think that could be the case, but I just can't see it. Omen of Fire spiking up like crazy. This is a reserve list card. We talked about it before. I wasn't too sure what it was going to do, but I did say something about it's a good pickup time. Of course, going by this short, it's gone up by maybe 30, 40%. That's a decent gain, but this is very spiky, and you're going to have to keep an eye on this kind of card. Strip Mine for Antiquity, sorry. So this card is weird because the average market price dropped, but the market price increased. Now, usually it's the other way around, as you can see. So I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen with this Antiquities version. The other versions are all stable, as far as I can tell. They did gain a bit in the last couple of weeks, but we'll have to see what happens again. Artifact Mutation from Secret Lair series. This had a massive gain from $7 to about $2. For the market price, and average price was also similar. It's starting to stabilize now, starting to pick back up. The other cheapest versions of this card is 41 cents. So for this card to get anything higher than that, for this card to stabilize at a higher number, it might be something similar to Invasion, where it sits at $2 or maybe $3. Once again, it depends on how many this actually picked up. Okay, sure. One of my reminders. Next is Seat of the Sinoid from Planechase. This card is really useful in certain artifact decks. It's blue, it's an artifact, you can sacrifice it to, what's the face? Breya. So, good card, $1.53. This is probably the cheapest you can get it for. There's a World Championship, but that's not legal anyways. But I would expect this card to stabilize at some point as well. It's a common card. It's found in a lot of places. If artifacts are coming back, then obviously it'll pick up, but it should stabilize at some point in the near future. Wrath of God from Secret Lair. Now, I'm not too sure if many people picked up this card, but its average price point does actually help pay for this kind of set because, you have a $35 or whatever version of this bunch of Secret Lairs, and then if the average card is $15, if one of the cards is $15, then you don't really need much more to balance it out. So we'll have to see what happens with a card like this, but it has had plenty of printings and it probably will have more printings to come. Dragonstorm from Modern Masters. This card obviously is a dragon, ideal for dragon decks. It's expensive, but if you storm off with another 3 or 4 cards before, you can get a decent amount of power into it. It is averaging around about $3 to maybe $2.90. I would expect it to probably continue growing. You can see that the From the Vault one is now $10.88. The time shifted one is $2.50. So I think there's actually a bit of future for this card. And even if it isn't, it probably won't be coming down that much. The most it can come down to is probably about $2. Mountain Secret Lair series. So had a big drop and is still falling. It's just very volatile. So the reason why it's on this list is obviously because it just had a bit of a bump in the average market price. I would probably say watch out for these kinds of cards. They are unique and they are cool, but you really need to know why you're buying them, and yeah, pretty much what you're going to do with it. Next, Maelstrom Archangel. So huge run up in 2018, went up to $19 and then a massive drop. Maybe a good time to actually start picking up this card from Conflux. You can see that any spike now is just tiny, and the average price of $1.88, even from Jumpstart, is $1.69. So if you wanted this card, you can get it probably now. Drown in the Loch, Secret Lair series. Once again, Secret Lair seems to be doing a pretty good job of taking off. This is a decent card to begin with. The Throne of Eldraine is still sitting at $2.25, but a premium of almost, what is that, 1,000%? Feels a bit off to me. We'll have to see what happens. If the card is played in a lot of places, which it is, in Modern especially, there will be some pull to it. Is it played anywhere else? Nope, standard and Modern. So we'll see what happens. Armageddon, 6th edition. Destroy all lands. Once again, a terrible commander card, but it is still moving up. So we'll have to find out what the main reason is and if this is going to be the cheapest of all of the cards to come out. You can see that the 5th edition is actually $2 more expensive. So yeah, we'll have to see what the price actually flattens out to for this one. Glory from Judgement. Now, this is one card that I noticed was very volatile in the last couple of days. You can see that it actually peaked at $3.31 for the average market price, dropped back down to $2.54. You can get, well, actually, you can't get this card really in this version anywhere else, so the price might be valuable in some ways. It's not a reserve list card, and as far as I can tell, it's okay, but it's still a weird card to play. Next is MTG Goldfish. We'll see what has moved today. We're going to try to aim for the 10%. Fighter class moving up by 14% to now sit at $3.42. You can see that Nalia Keen-Eyed is now sitting at $3.96, 8% gain, but nothing else really pops out. Omnath Locus of Creation gained by 10% this week to now sit at $11.68. And for Modern, Blood Moon, another gain of 19%, pretty crazy, now sitting at $35.49. Cryptic Command, another 10% gain, sitting at $34.19. Liliana Vess, 22% gain, sitting at $14.83. And Uber Mask still gaining 11% to sit at $20 even. So what I'd probably say is all of these cards are going to come up on the weekly, but I would not expect them to stay at this kind of price point, at least not like in the next couple of days, because they gained so much in just one day. See where the average comes from. Lord of Atlantis dropped by 10%, and Surgical Extraction dropped by 10% because they gained quite a bit yesterday, I think. You got Engineered Explosives sitting at the 19% mark for this week, $62. And Renin 6, 7% gain to sit at $128.49. That's pretty big gains. The biggest drop, Lord of Atlantis, dropping down by 20%. Twilight Mire, dropping down by 13%. Wheel of Sun and Moon, dropping down by 10% to sit at $30. Actually, that's $31. That's still quite expensive. Pioneer, Sakam Unbroken, still moving up, 21% gain today, now sit at $16.21. You're going to have to see that a lot of these cards, especially like Ulrich of the Kalhid, is going to be moving, Ulrich of the Krallen Horde, is going to be moving because of Innistrad. So a 21% gain for him, sitting at $2.50. Like I said before, flip werewolves are a massive pain to play, but it really does depend on what your playstyle is. A decent commander anyways. Revel Riches, 33% gain for this week, now sitting at almost $20. And Alpine Moon sitting at $11, 39% gain. We'll go back to the revised dual lands. Now this is actually interesting. If you pull back a bit, wrong tab, you can see that it's actually about to make another leg up. Now, I did the check. This was announced when the stimulus was announced. This happened when the stimulus was announced. So what's going on here? Are people expecting, because America moves the market for Magic cards, really they do. Australia does not have any of the numbers of the potential for moving physical Magic cards as they do in America. So what happens in America really matters. So what are they expecting? Are they expecting a rent moratorium to continue? Are they expecting another? I mean, there is the however many $1 trillion infrastructure package, but that usually doesn't go straight into people's hands. So it should be a bit slower. So this bump is actually one that I'm having trouble predicting. If you guys can think of any reasons why we are about to take another leg up, at least for Bayou, let me know. Revised Badlands, on the other hand, is still very mute. Right now, it's actually dropping for the average market price. Sorry, the market price is dropping. The average is flatlining at $499. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think might be the future for reserve list cards and obviously revised dual lands. And we'll see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Thanks again, everyone, and have a good one. See ya.